Yeah, I just don't think this is gonna work. I tried with the Santa hat. I really did. Hey word nerds, it is Monday, December 23rd, which means it is the eve of Christmas Eve. Eve? Am I one too many Eves in on this? Mondays, as you know, are Ink Slinging Mondays, where we talk all about writing and how to craft stories that are good. So over the weekend, I finished Allegiant. That's not what this vlog is going to be about. We are going to probably have a full Word Nerd live chat about that sometime in the future, but it got me thinking about writing character deaths. Now, don't worry, this isn't going to be a spoiler video, so if you haven't read Allegiant yet, you're not going to be spoiled. Interesting note on spoilers, I was spoiled, and it just sucks. Writing character deaths are tricky. There's really no hard and fast rule about what to do, how you can do it, who you can and can't kill. Basically, my rule that I try to follow is everybody is vulnerable. Anybody who's read George R.R. Martin might know that a lot of his characters, even characters that are main characters that you grow to love and really care for, are just easily gone. They're gone. I think the important thing to remember when it comes to character death is that it should count. In war scenes, yeah, you're gonna kill a lot of people, and most of them your readers won't know, but when it comes to characters that the readers have grown accustomed to knowing, either because they are the main characters or they're one of the main group of people in the story, if they die, it should have some kind of deeper meaning than, oh, they're just dead, moving on. This is actually a point of contention that a lot of people have with Mockingjay. As you guys probably know, because you've most likely read Mockingjay, spoiler alert, Finnick dies, and his death is very quick and sudden, and they move on from it really quickly. A lot of people have a problem with this because nobody is given time to grieve Finnick's death, but when you actually think about it, and I've gone over this scene multiple times in my head, I kind of like that it's quick. Katniss does kind of do a mini grieving session of him where she remembers things about him and sees him in flashes behind her eyes his entire life, and then she moves on. But they're in the middle of a war. Things have to kind of move quickly. She doesn't have time to stop and cry over losing him because, like, mutant lizards are right on their trail. When you go about killing a character, do it thoughtfully, do it sparingly if you can, and do it with some kind of depth behind it. Death scenes that are just kind of made to create drama, basically deaths that serve no real purpose in the plot, are not great ones. They read shallow, they read insincere, and it's gonna do nothing but annoy the reader. I have yet to kill any of my main central characters in any stories that I have written, but I have killed a lot of side characters. These are characters who the reader really doesn't know, and they just kind of come in and come out because they are immediately introduced and then killed. A thing you have to keep in mind, especially in young adult novels, is how gruesome you want these deaths to be, and I think the gruesomeness of it all has to do with the tone that your story takes. If it's a darker piece, you should be allowed to be a little bit more gruesome with it. Don't be unnecessarily bloody or gory about it because it will read like you're trying too hard to gross somebody out or offend somebody, and that's also going to get you nowhere. Have thoughts about your characters and make sure that every death you write in does move the plot forward. If it doesn't do anything to assist the story, either in telling another level of what the story means, or maybe pushing the character to understand something, or basically if it doesn't serve any kind of developmental purpose, why do you have it? There's a caveat to that statement though. If your character is a purely evil one, which I am currently writing a couple different evil characters, sometimes death and the abundance of death that surrounds them does show their character, which again kind of does develop the story. So while it's not necessarily moving the plot forward, it is introducing a new level or a deeper level to a character you're exploring. We all mourn over fictional deaths. I've cried over every fictional death that I've read with a few exceptions, and they're heartbreaking. Sometimes they're necessary, sometimes they're gratuitous. Like Kaylin said in her video last week about vulgarity in young adult writing, you have to remember anything that's done too often will lose its effect. If I have 5 main characters and I decide to kill them all off, it kind of becomes meaningless. Oh, we've lost so many people, I don't care anymore, everybody's dead. Yay! But when you have a few deaths that do add a depth to the story, for example, The Fault in Our Stars, another example, The Infernal Devices, it adds something to the story. These deaths aren't inconsequential. They're not meaningless. They evoke something out of the reader that has to do with the story, and they move the plot forward, and it follows a natural character arc. Sometimes, not gonna name any stories, authors will add in a death scene just to kind of shake things up. Ooh, don't do that. Unless it's necessary to the plot. How many times have I said this in this video? Unless it's necessary to the plot, cut it. And you can actually take that advice for a lot of things that you add into your story, not just with death scenes, but you can use it for sentences, or scenes, or character romances. Tell me in the comments what character deaths have ripped you apart. Just assume that the comments are spoilers because, let's be honest here, we're going to be naming a lot of fictional deaths. And if you have any characters that you thought didn't need to die or maybe were unnecessary kills, list those too. I will make sure to read them and I'll try to respond. If you enjoyed this video and you found it helpful, make sure to like it and subscribe for more videos. We're going to be doing, again, weekly videos even through Christmas. Which reminds me, if you're celebrating Christmas, Happy Christmas! And if you're not celebrating Christmas, Happy December! And snow maybe. It's warm here, but maybe it's snowing where you are. Also, Happy New Year. Next time I see you guys, it will be 2014. Holy cow, how did this year go by so quickly? Stay awesome, you guys, and read lots of books, and have a wonderful week. Bye!